You are listening to Quarters and Barra. I am Glenn Quartermain, Senior Sports Reporter with the West Australian. With me is Adrian Barrach of Perth Football Club, West Coast Eagles and Channel 7 fame. We are brought to you by TABtouch. Got the touch? Download the TABtouch app today. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Barra, they're all big weeks in footy. I just can't believe we're at round 16.
And you reckon this is the week where if you're in tipping, you make your big move?
Oh, mate, I am making my big move.
Really?
Yeah, this is like the last lap of a 1,500-metre Olympic final, and the bell's gone, and you watch me go.
You're going after Mitch Woodcock.
I'm just going to the lead.
You're going after Splinters.
So fortune favours...
Oh, you know who's leading? Libby Medams.
Yeah, well, I'll be going after Libby as well.
Don't take down Libby.
Well,
that's quite a story if a politician actually wins.
Yeah, well,
because Basil, he just puts in the favourites every week.
That's you just mentioned Libby and Basil. Well, I'll leave it up to Basil to take down Libby at some point.
Ah, very good, mate. Good to see Joshy back too from paternity
Josh
leave.
Cable, our producer. Congratulations, Josh! Another addition to the family.
Have you got your sound effects ready, great man? Would you have? Has he got the?
He's got it.
He's got the sound,
and it's
effect?
coming. Don't worry.
Mention that bloke's name
earlier?
Or?
We'll get to it. Don't worry.
Because I saw some rankings,
Yes.
About Champion Data put out rankings about the Dockers so far this year.
Okay,
and
so
let's a little bit surprising.
Okay.
So you don't want me to mention that bloke's name? He's down the list.
Let's just get it out of the way right now.
Hang on, he's not ready. He's not listening,
Josh. Let's get it out of the way right now.
This is an important cyclone warning announcement.
I love it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th. He's 10th.
In what, accuracy?
10th best Docker this year.
Okay.
So I reckon you'll be able to pick one.
Oh, it's the wrong.
Yeah, it's the wrong one.
Oh, I'll pick a couple. Luke Ryan.
No, hang on. No, second, surprise one.
Jordan Clark.
Sean Darcy.
Oh, yeah.
Of the games he's...
Limited games, though.
Yeah, but I think, is it 7 or so? He's played a few games.
Okay. And good last week.
And guess who's third?
Luke Ryan, Jordan Clark, Alex Pearce.
Nah.
Gee. Andrew Brayshaw.
Nah. Darcy.
Oh, Jeremy Sharp.
Darcy's played 7 games.
Jeremy Sharp third?
No, mate. It's Darcy's partner in crime.
Oh, Luke Jackson.
Luke Jackson, they've got as third.
Yeah, read him out.
Then it goes Young 4, Luke Ryan 5, Brayshaw 6, Jordan Clark 7, Alex Pearce 8, Fifey 9th. He's having the 9th best season at the club.
Okay.
And there's people calling for his head.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to have a look at that.
Yep.
Tracy 10th.
So he's the best of
hang
the
on,
forwards?
Tracy 10th.
Yeah.
Tracy 10th.
We've had it already.
Well, don't we get it more than once?
Oh, let's have it again. Let's have it again.
This is an important cyclone warning announcement.
You're the only bloke who calls him Cyclone.
I don't mind. I don't care.
Because he's called the Big Kahuna.
Yeah, he's a cyclone. Cyclone Tracy. He plays like a cyclone, wreaks havoc on opposition defences.
Mate, he wants to be called the Big Kahuna.
Well, no.
Not Cyclone. And you know what you're like?
What?
You're like George Grilicic. When I used to work with George, you remember the great George Grilicic?
Oh, great man.
And I come in one day. This is no bull twang. I said, George, Anna Kornikova, very good, in the lead up to, probably coming here for Hopman Cup and all this sort of stuff. We've been in touch with her, Hopman Cup, Anna Kornikova. He goes, don't say Kornikova. I said, what do you mean? He goes, it's Kornikova, Anna Kornikova. I said, George, we've been speaking to her and she said it's Kornikova. And he goes, there's no bull, he goes, well, she's wrong. She's wrong about her own name. I said, George, in that dialect, in that part of Russia or whatever, he crapped on he's a very smart man.
I'll be backing George.
Yeah, I know, I'll be backing the person whose
the
name
other
it is.
one was, remember Matthias Murali Dharan, right?
Yeah, Murali.
Well, is it Murali Dharan or a Muralitharan? What was it?
Muralitharan.
So the great late Ron Reid, a journalist in Melbourne, a very good sports journalist in Melbourne, actually asked him one day, how do you spell it and how do you say it? And he spelled it with a D, and he said it's Murali Dharan.
Murali Dharan.
So that came from him. So there you go.
There's another... we could go on for hours.
No, so let's just start...
Igor Swiatek, she threw a lot of people, let me tell you.
What is it?
It's...
Swiatek, isn't it?
No, it's because the Poles, mate. The Poles, they make sounds that we don't even know about, right? And the emphasis
That's
is
because
always,
it's cold.
the emphasis is on the second last syllable.
Okay.
Like the second last
Syllable.
syllable.
Yeah.
Let me just give you the buddy how to say it properly, mate. Just so.
Yeah. Then can we please move on?
So, because otherwise we'll sound like an idiot. So, and because this is the season for ballsing things up. This is famously when Baz did the NBA one with the Greek freak, Giannis. That's not even how to say it as well. You know that guy? Can you say his name?
Yeah, I can too. What is it? You go on, say it.
No, I'm not saying it.
Okay.
You're not getting me up.
Well, Basil should get that right.
So it's Iga Swiatek.
Is it?
Iga Swiatek.
Okay.
So she's the world's number one. Even Novak came out when he was here and we were speaking to him and said, Novak, how do you say your name? He said, Djokovic. So that's when it became Djokovic, not Djokovic, which is quite weird. And if George was here, he'd be going, no, he's got it wrong. He's got it wrong. He doesn't know. Mate, he's the richest bloke in tennis. He would know.
He would. You do a good George. Now let's move on to a couple of topics. One local one. Optus Stadium, the surface has come into some acute criticism this week. We did notice last weekend, and we've noticed it over a few weeks now, players have been slipping over, and it was quite evident last week, particularly in the second half. It's a motley looking surface. So we went to Optus Stadium, and their chief, Mike McKenna, this week said, yes, we understand it is below what we want, the standard that we want. However, it has been looked at by the AFL that did an independent test on it, and it was rated good in all areas, with very good being the highest ranking you can get. And he also said, look, it's about the winter ryegrass that normally comes through by this time, but the conditions haven't allowed it to. That's what it is. So he has said the curators and his executive team are looking at a different approach entering next season. What I will say is, the surface at HBF looks pretty good to me, and other surfaces are okay.
MCG?
Yeah, MCG is
has
pristine.
just as many events.
Yeah, we'll have Origin last night.
Has it been a weather thing?
It has been a weather thing,
which is strange when you think about it, given that the MCG...
But has it ever really been right, that surface?
Well, you were saying the bloke who laid the grass at the start made it blue. I don't know. I'm not a greenskeeper.
It was very hard surface.
As Tommy Barrass said, I'm not a greenskeeper.
Yeah.
Mate, how good was that press conference?
It was good.
How good is that guy's talent? If he doesn't follow his old man into the media, he's
always good, very articulate, very erudite, and we love listening to him. So, Tom, even if you get in a bit of trouble for speaking your mind on the Optus Stadium surface, keep them coming, mate, because just be honest.
He's honest.
Be honest.
And I think he probably overcooked it. If I was the media advisor, you'd agree with this. If I was the media advisor at West Coast, I'd be saying, well, probably just temper your comments and play a bit of a straight bat sometimes. You don't always have to hit everyone out of the park. You probably are the smartest bloke in the room. Actually,
maybe they're just sick of the surface, mate.
Yes, but maybe it's not his role to be pointing it out. Yeah.
J-Lo backed him?
Yeah, well, a coach probably has more swagger on that, I suppose, and J-Lo backed it in as well. But, it doesn't really help you. You can't change it overnight.
Jack Riewoldt actually said that it was the surface was never great when he was playing. He said it's a magnificent stadium, but the surface wasn't great. Jordan Lewis said after playing on the surface, it took him several days for the soreness. Right. Yeah, it was hard. Buddy Franklin's first game on the surface, and he missed the next 10 weeks with heel soreness.
Yeah, and he won the game as well, by the way.
Kicked 8.
Didn't affect him. Far out. I mean, and the thing is, both sides have to play on it, so let's not forget about that. But I want to tell Josh and our listeners about this press conference, Josh. You will love it, because I don't know how it's happened, but the three veterans have rocked up for the press conference. It's G. Quartermain, A. Barrich, and M. Duffield.
It was like old times.
It was like a reunion. Yeah. He kept us waiting 20 minutes, so we're grumpy old bastards.
He didn't keep us waiting 20 minutes, did he?
What were you doing, mate?
Obviously in Gaga land. Because
when they came in and said he's going to be 10 minutes late, and he turned up 20 minutes, remember?
Okay. Not you talking about McGovern.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Barrass.
Yeah, but we were at McGovern, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So McGovern was late, Barrass wasn't. Yeah. Let's get that straight.
Now, were we all at Barrass as
well? No, I wasn't. I was at Barrass.
Oh, no, mate. So that's why I'm telling the story about friggin' McGovern. Anyway, okay, let's finish off the Barrass thing. You're right. Yeah. He's so forthright and honest. Amazing. amazing.
And
bloke.
other people support his argument. So
Yeah, they do. But
look, Mike McKenna, they do a great job at Optus. It is a magnificent stadium. Let's just get the surface right.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get it right.
I'm talking about Barrass now. And they'll wind him back now, and you know that they're trying to wind him back, obviously. So that's unfortunately players can't be as forthright as they want to be, and there are some political things that probably don't go down that path. I know that Duff spoke to Cripsy straight after and asked him about the surface, and he said, "Mate, I'm not talking about that. It's not my area. Plus, you just get in the shit, and it is like a sacred cow, isn't it? Optus in Western Australia.
You're an elite footballer. You play on the surface. I think you've got every right to comment. To be
but
quite
the stadium is something special
It is
for
a
us
special
in WA,
stadium.
and I absolutely
So
love it.
get the surface right.
Massive supporter. We wouldn't have all these events without it. So, but they're tweaking it, and they're open to the criticism. The other great things that he said was, so we said to him, he said he had a permanent back injury. Which,
Yeah, well, we knew that.
So
he broke effectively had some fractures of his back last year when he fell heavily. You remember he got really high and fell on his back?
Yeah, absolutely. Because he talked about it. He said he
Mm.
doesn't go back with the ball like that as much anymore. Because he's.
Well, he did at the weekend. He took 9 intercept marks.
No. We should have asked him about that. Why didn't you ask me about that?
I think I
Nearly
did.
breaking the record.
I think I might
No,
have.
you didn't, mate.
All right.
Because when I was going through the tape, I was asking all the good questions.
I'll turn it up.
I asked about the
please.
stadium, and I asked about his contract.
You actually did. That's fair. That's fair.
I was waiting for some cover, mate.
How do you know we weren't going there?
I wanted some cover.
You just jumped in
I
first.
got in too early, idiot. Because you don't want to ask the Optus questions, because you know Optus listens to the tape and see who's asked the questions.
That's all right.
Who's firing the bullets?
That's our job.
I'm not firing any bullets.
That's our job.
Yeah, good. Hide behind that. It's not a great time to. But mind you, but his contract was interesting and then the next day, because it was embargoed, wasn't it? Is that all right to say that?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. So
It's embargoed because all of media were there, it's all in, and it's rolled out sort of to help everyone out. So that's fine. We all agree to that.
So it was embargoed till the next 3
3
o'clock the next day, which
yep.
doesn't really help Channel 7, I've got to say.
No, it'll help. It's
'Cause
okay
our
for
news
us.
is on at 6, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
So everyone's blowing
I'm
it.
aware.
You blokes had, at 1 second past 3, you had 3 stories out about Barrass.
1 second, mate. Right on 3. That was the agreement. We're not waiting till 1 second pass.
Every bastard's putting it on digital and Twitter and stuff. We've got to wait 3 hours, or 3 hours 45, because it's on at 6:45. You want to
So
catch
what do you
us on
think?
7
So
News.
just what do you think about?
Well, anyway, can I finish the story? So
Yeah.
the story was, you got to, mate, this is how it works, right?
Yeah.
The next day, so he's embargoed. So the next day, a big story. Who was the dude in Melbourne that let it go? Sam Edmonds or Cal Toomey?
Yep.
He said, mate, Barrass, they're into him. For Collingwood and the Bulldogs
But that's
are into
not
him.
new.
Mate, that's not the story. The story is that we had this in the can, right? Answers for this thing. And it was fed to us straight away. So the next day, when you ran your stuff, what was your headline? Eagle for life.
Yeah.
And there have been reports that he's being chased by Collingwood and the Bulldogs.
Which he
Which
addressed.
only came out after
Yeah.
we didn't actually ask him about that.
Yeah, but he addressed all of that.
I think I said Port Adelaide.
But as he said, it's hardly news that a established key defender is being pursued by other AFL clubs. It's they're
Yeah,
gold.
absolutely.
They're like gold.
But behind that, Glenn Quartermain, that he is trying to rejig his deal because and he's got 3 more years to run to 2027. So I ask you, if he wants to go to 2029, which is everyone's trying to rejig their deals, right? Because of Tasmania coming,
Yep.
The salary going up, with the collective bargaining agreements, all that. Everyone's trying to do it. Bobby Hill, probably next week there'll be an announcement. Bobby Hill's got a new contract for 7 years, because he's filthy. Sacked his manager. I'm only on $450. I can't believe it. I'm the best player in the AFL. What's going on? So
Wants a new car too.
does he?
I'm told, yeah.
What sort of car?
Oh, just a whiz-bang one.
Really? An Audi or something?
So I don't know what he
It's
wants.
a bit like your one.
Mine. Mate, I'm a battler.
Mate, I'm a Hyundai i30. You can't
Pajero,
beat
mate.
me.
Pajero.
I've gone the Hyundai i30. My dad's car.
Good on you,
He
mate.
left it to me
Yeah,
in his
nice,
will.
nice.
There you go.
Okay.
So don't accuse me of driving
Hey,
BMWs.
I'm just a battler, mate. I don't drive a Beamer.
You know what Beamers, they're like arseholes. Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
Look, back
Not
to
me.
that contract. So just tell me, if he says I want to go to 2029, he's 28 and he's revealed that he's got a significant back injury, that when he gets out of bed he has to do exercises and yoga and everything just to get going, to get moving. do you sign him if you're West Coast? I mean, they've won the day with Yeo. Yeo's won the day.
I'm signing Tom Barrass.
To 2029.
Yep.
He'll be 33.
That's okay. Oh, 2029, yeah, no, that is a long
He's got
contract.
2027 already.
Yeah.
So who wins that one? Because that's happening at the moment.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It was a bloody good presser, though. Jesus is smart. He should go into the media.
Playing good footy.
Hey, we mentioned Yoey too. I'll start it off if you
Yep.
don't mind. Can I just send my deepest sympathies to Yoey and to also Corey, who played at the Perth Footy Club, was our captain actually. Fantastic bloke. They looked after the Broken Hill Hotel. The boys owned the Broken Hill Hotel nearby, so we went there a lot. And Craig was a fantastic guy. Elliot's dad, Corey's dad, was just an absolute belter. You know Tony Bahajar, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you probably know Craig, do you?
I do.
Yeah. So
Not well, but I've met him a few times. Great fella. Yeah.
you know how good a fella Tony Bahajar is?
Yep, I do.
Craig Yeo, equal. Same sort of, world-class fellas. Michael Brennan, those sort of guys that I really look up to. So that was so sad that Yoey has lost his wonderful
Been battling illness for a while, and I concur, mate. Our thoughts go out to everyone. And Elliot, as far as the weekend goes, leave it up to the day, and
up to him.
It's up to you totally. It's up to him totally, and it's a pretty difficult situation to deal with. I've been there myself. And you just don't know from day to day how you're going to feel. So there is overwhelming sadness, of course. So, I mean, that'd be fine. They'll leave it up to him on the day. If he's not right, that's okay. But if you feel
So they'll
like
name him today, probably, you think?
I think he gets
probably
named.
don't need to talk about this.
No, we don't need to talk
But
about
what's good? You know what's really good is that Jason Dover, his manager, who's a fantastic guy as well, by the way, and also the Eagles managed to sign him he managed to get that deal done.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that was good.
Yeah,
There
look,
was no
whatever they decide to do, there are things that are more important than a football game, Barra. This is one of these situations. So all the best to the Yeo family. That's all we really need to say on that one. Let's move on a little bit. A curious decision this week. Patrick Dangerfield, very intelligent guy, Patrick, talked it up at the tribunal, got off. I've got to say, I'm not disgusted that he got off, but I would have preferred him to get a week. I'm confused. I don't know where we stand with this now. If you pin both arms and the player you tackle, his head hits the turf, I thought that's a week now. It seems that we're not. Now, he spent a lot of time arguing the mechanics of his tackle were to protect the player.
And it sort of looks like he pulls back a little bit at the end.
But Barra, then in the same breath, he says
he pinned his arms up.
Well, the AFL say you've got to release one arm, and he's saying, well, how can you do that in a split second?
It is hard. That is hard.
Yeah,
to
but
do.
my argument,
we said
Barra,
that on Tuesday.
That's fine. But you've also, in the same breath, he's executed all these safety mechanisms in a split second too. So it is you are capable of releasing an arm.
You know the weird bit is isn't he the face of the AFL Players Association? And he's defending, he's going right in on the concussion stuff, all in.
Yes.
And he was a bloke who... So it wouldn't look good if he got suspended for,
Why not?
for driving a bloke.
It happens.
I'm just saying, it's not an argument, mate. He doesn't look good if you're the head of the Players Association trying to fix the concussion problem, you get nailed for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that played any role at all, but the fact that it was him and getting off is a bit dodgy, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think he should have got a week.
Like Harley Reid didn't get off.
Harley Reid's was a more dangerous tackle than that one, definitely, because it came from a height. I'm comfortable with the 2 weeks for Harley. As much as I would have loved to have seen him out there playing, and he's back this week, which is great. I think you can't have those tackles in the game. I don't know that people disagree with me, but mate.
Anyway, I'm not talking about Harley. I was just trying to tell you about Dangerfield and the fact that it was a bit strange that he got off, and maybe you do have to release the arm, and maybe he's right, you can't release the arm. But to be fair, he does know the name of the unknown soldier, old Danger. You know what I mean? He's one of those dudes. He's got a bit of the, who's about him. And it was strange that he got off, would you say?
I agree.
But as putting my footballer's hat on, I thought, yeah, he should get off. So I thought, how the hell are you going to release an arm? You're supposed to go in aggressively and hard as you can and then at the last second pull back. I mean, to make some of those tackles against those 85-kilo blokes, 90-kilo blokes, it was a Walsh, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we need...
He's probably... Was
Walsh.
it Walsh? Yeah,
Yeah,
so he's probably only 85 kilos. But still, the strength of those dudes, to get a hold of them, you really have to go in hard. Otherwise, you get hurt or you don't, or they just go through you. And then right at the end, you have to try and release.
The bottom line
And
is...
you're taught to actually make them earn it, make them feel the pain so that they don't really try to take you on again.
The bottom line is it's as clear as mud, and we just need absolute clarity around this.
That's the problem with our rules.
Yeah, but this one in
There's
particular...
too much grey area.
The most important thing is that we are protecting the head now, but the grey area around it, we need clarity around it. They need to get pronto on it and make sure that the fans are confused, the players are confused.
I reckon it's impossible. The way because I've played rugby, right? And in rugby, it's pretty, apart from some of the mauls and stuff, it's very specific. And the ref, and he commands ultimate respect as well. But in footy, the rules are so grey and they tweak them and they never really actually say what they want because I think they actually don't mind the publicity, to tell you the truth, because it drives the game, drives content, drives talk. You know, the content numbers, it's gone up like 100% since in the last decade or so, people commenting on the game in a professional sense. And they love that, don't they? So they've got to have content. So danger gets done, gets off. What's the rule really? We have this debate. They try to change the rules, holding the ball. Are you clear on holding the ball now as well?
You and I know, and you and I both do a bit, as well as the podcast, as well as our day jobs. We do a lot of talk back, and dominated by confusion from punters out there about what the rules are now.
And I think that's why it probably dominates. Mind you, there was a big crowd at rugby league last night, wasn't there?
Oh, Origin. Let's talk about that quickly. It's really...
See Josh how I opened the door there? The big fella jumped in.
Well, it's really good that it's
I know what your piggery is. Have you heard the expression piggery?
No. What's
There was a king who loved his pigs. And if you ever want to get anything done in the kingdom, you started talking about his pigs, right? And you were sweet. It's kind of like a term. And you can buy little pigs to remind you of it. Mm-hmm. So your piggery is 1 Hawthorn.
Yeah.
2 concussion.
Yeah.
And 3 rugby league. As well.
Yeah.
And Victorian stuff.
Oh, yeah, and throw Neil Young in there.
Neil Young. Yeah. And you love nature.
Yeah, I
and obviously marathons. I can get you on marathons anytime.
You can.
As well.
You can.
But, you know, what mountains near that Alice Springs, you'd deliver, wouldn't you? Alice Springs Oval?
Western and Eastern McDonnell Ranges.
See what I mean?
Stanley Chasm, Simpsons
driven
Gap,
through the bloody valley.
Glen Helen Gorge.
He'll tell some Poporama story about how he's camped
Namatjira's Ghost Gums.
See what I mean? He's a genius.
No.
Anyway, back to your piggery.
Celebrate
about the league,
planet, mate. It's a wonderful planet.
Did you watch the game? Come on, be honest. Did you actually watch it?
Okay, so first half I was actually in doing my other job at night. I was in a studio at the ABC.
Mate, that's why I said it, because I knew you were on air.
Had the TV on. And then I got home.
You were interviewing Jesse Wagstaff about Alex Sarr getting picked up today, second pick. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I knew you weren't watching. Plus, you weren't given any updates.
No, we did at some stage. So what I did is I got home. Might have opened a little bottle of West Cape How and SSB and watched the second half because I'd seen a lot of the first half in the background in the studio.
Didn't they spank him?
They did, but it was a good comeback from Queensland. It was a neutral venue.
Comeback? They got murdered.
Still
the
got
game was over.
18 on the board.
38.
Spanking.
90,000. And Latrell, I mean, it's hard to love Latrell, let's be honest, isn't he? But he does struts his stuff.
Don't write off the Queenslanders, mate. The game 3 is at Suncorp Stadium.
Is he a bit chubby, old Latrell?
Oh! First thing I saw when he ran out.
Is that a trick question?
Oh, no.
How good looking is the fullback from Queensland? What's his name? The fellow got knocked out last time.
The Hammer. Oh, you're talking about, Reece Walsh.
Reece Walsh.
Yeah.
Mate, is he the best looking bloke in footy?
Yeah.
Mate, he's like a supermodel and he's little and he gets smashed, but he keeps coming up. But he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop Stephen, what's his face and all that. They were just,
last night it was that way. You know, you're talking about Latrell looking a bit porky. I went to
don't start on me, mate.
Well, I will if you want. Went to my only NFL game. It was at New Meadowlands Stadium, so in New Jersey, to see the Giants play the Cowboys. 85,000 there, and as the players ran out in the ground, these guys ran out, and they were, let's just say, quite a considerable girth. And I said to my mate, there must be like a corporate thing before the game where you get to run out in the ground. Dudes. Oh, no, they're the linebackers.
Oh, yeah, because they move about 2 feet.
Oh,
that's all they have to stand there, block dudes.
Yeah.
And Alex Sarr, mate, how's today?
Yes. So well done to him, Wildcats.
All the Wildcats fans went out to some sports bar in Belmont, so there'll be pictures of that on the news tonight. And
so picked up at number 2 by the Wizards.
What's he get, 10 mil, 15
mil?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, it's great money.
Imagine going from being on Pooparama, what would he be under the Cats?
Oh, I don't know.
Bugger all, throwing $1,000. No, that's not Pooparama, but compared to 10 million,
it's your wage.
Compared to 10 million, it is, mate.
It's about your
mate. Everything's changing around here, mate. Yeah. Don't start talking about that.
Okay. Hey, but look, well done to him and that Future Stars program. We saw LaMelo Ball a few years ago. So, and I liked Sarr's comments. He said it's a really physical league, the NBL, and it's a really good stepping stone into the NBA. So well done to him. It's great. It's great for the Wildcats.
They're actually freaks, these guys.
Aren't they? He's 7 foot.
They're all 7-footers. And they've got a 7'5" wingspan, arm span. 7'5" arm span. Mate, imagine if they played footy.
So two Frenchmen went 1 and 2 because he's French.
I didn't even know the French were big people.
And last year was a Frenchman. And so that's the first time in consecutive years hasn't been a player from the US taken.
Is that right?
With the first pick.
They've gone past the African Americans a bit.
Well, not past them, but by the way, LeBron's boy, Bronny LeBron, expected to be taken in the second round, which I think is tomorrow. Is that how they do it? Yeah. So there was debate over whether he would stay in college or play, and I mean these numbers aren't off the chart. He's no LeBron, but wouldn't that be great to see those two playing together for the Lakers?
Yeah, if you could get through.
Because the Lakers will pick him up.
Yeah. LeBron.
And that keeps LeBron at the Lakers, so I think it's a great story.
38, 39, something like that. Yeah.
Speaking of big contracts, so obviously the daily story about Harley Reid's contract is...
Where was that printed?
We printed it. Melbourne had a say in it. So it's no surprise that there are Melbourne clubs chasing him on multi-year, multi-million-dollar contracts. That'll happen. Still not signed beyond the 3 years, but he's got 3 years here.
And now everyone's saying and everyone's agreeing that to sign him for the 4th year, the Eagles will have to fork out $2 million. Mm-hmm. $2 million.
We'll fork it out.
$2 million.
Do it.
Last week, remember my story about Goran Ivanisevic when he said to Jacko and me and Suma, last week I win $2 million. Yeah, that was for 1 week's work. This is 1 year's work for what would he be by then? 19, 20, 21, 22. For a 22-year-old, $2 million. Like, that is... And so a lot of the marketing money But that will happen. If he's staying here, he's on $2 million. I saw him driving a Toyota the other day. So Toyota's on... I mean, what a brand to have for Harley. He's a Toyota man now. Mate, he giggles. Not Toyota, Newtown Toyota or anything like that. Just Toyota.
Now, Barra, we're on a tight schedule because we've got someone else coming in after us. So let's get through these games. Firstly, let's hear from David Shortte at TABtouch.
Shorty's tips.
G'day, Shorty.
Hello, Quarters. How are you?
Good, mate. And our old mate Errol's been swinging in on a chandelier again.
You're not kidding. What a 3-week period he's had. Disposal counts are 37, 35 and 41. He's now a $17 chance for the Brownlow.
Imagine just sitting in that dressing room before a game and looking around at each other and saying, who's it going to be today?
It's a fair bit of talent floating through there, that's for sure.
Now, things are not going so well in South Australia, but one of the teams Port Adelaide particularly, but we thought Adelaide would find a way into the 8 this year. Not so.
Oh, after last season, they were expected to certainly be in and around the place, but they've now lost 4 of their last 5. The season appears all but done. They're now out to $67 just to make the top 8.
Yeah, not good for them. Who's your hot punt this week?
This time round, I'll go with Brisbane to win by 25 or more. I think they'll maul Friday night footy up against the D. Sydney should be beating Freo. And in the Gold Coast Collingwood game, I think it'll be relatively short, but I've gone conservative. Either team 1 to 39. That's 243 for all those 3 up together.
Yeah, they're pretty good up there and pretty bad everywhere else, Gold Coast. So we'll see how that one goes. Now, Melbourne, a big drifter.
Yeah, big style. Yeah, $4.25 out to $5 up against Brisbane on Friday night. And they've also drifted in line betting as well.
No good. Player to watch, and good to see the Big O back in action last weekend.
Oh, I really like Oscar Allen as a footballer. I thought it was a pretty encouraging return last week. He took 9 marks, 2 goals, 4. He's sure to be better for that run. I reckon he's worth a little spec. First goal score around $11, and I think he'll kick multiple goals. You can get involved there as well.
Yeah, let's not hope too many, Shorty, against my boys, the Hawks. But
should be a good game.
Yeah, it should be. Thanks, mate.
All the best.
Righto, Barra, let's pick some winners, and then we'll do a little bit of mail and give out a prize. Friday night at the Gabba, 5:40pm. Brisbane Lions, $1.17. Melbourne, $5. Melbourne has been decimated. No Christian Petrarca. But Jake Lever is a big chance to return to that side, which will make a big difference. I think Stephen May's a different player without Jake Lever there. And the Lions, hopeful of reintroducing Will Ashcroft, Barra.
Yeah.
So I think at the Gabba, the way the Lions are playing, I'm not sure if Melbourne's $5, but I'm picking Brisbane.
$5 for Melbourne. Is that right? So what's the
And
line?
you can bet your bottom dollar that Jared Berry or someone will go to Clayton Oliver because now we know he's gettable to tag. So that'll happen.
My advice to what's his name, Simon Goodwin, play Clayton Oliver off half-back. They've been doing a little bit of that, but just send him back there because you don't want him getting tagged and get nothings. But they got nothing in the midfield.
No.
Their midfield. How bad does their midfield look? It's like the cupboard is bare, that expression. There's nothing in there. They're chucking in blokes that just can't play because Petrarca's not there. But
Trent Rivers should play there permanently.
Yeah, but he's
a good player.
He's no world beater.
Oh, he's a good player, mate. Don't underestimate
hello.
him.
Every club would have 3 better players than him in the midfield.
Okay, well,
every club.
He might
Tell
become
me someone
one.
better that he's not better than.
Give him more midfield time and he might become one of those. Who are you picking? We got to keep moving quickly.
All right, the Lions for me.
Okay, SCG.
But I give Melbourne a chance.
Okay.
Beat the spread.
SCG Saturday, 11:45am. Sydney, $1.21. Dockers, $4.35. Obviously, Alex Pearce, big blow, comes out of that team. We expect Josh Draper to come back in. Davies will keep his place. Chapman can also play tall, Barra. So we're talking about that Amadi, that McDonald forward line.
And the other bloke as well.
I think they can cover them. But I'm picking Sydney to win this game. I just think they're playing such good football, Sydney.
The Dockers beat them there last year.
They do travel pretty well, Freo.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
the
I did
Dockers
hear that.
beat them there last year. And
So you're picking them?
Luke Jackson kicked 3. The only downside is that Lockie Schultz kicked 4. And Lockie Schultz ain't there anymore. And they probably haven't got that small forward to do it unless Young can kick 4 or something like that.
It was good to see their midfielders kick a few goals last week, so I think that's
jumped
important.
up.
That's
Jumped up.
important. Or maybe it's a big day for Jai Amos, or maybe it's a big day for Cyclone.
This is an important cyclone warning announcement.
Jeez, I love that.
Mate, I give the Dockers a chance.
So who are you picking? I'm picking Sydney.
Yeah, everyone's going to have to tip Sydney. The Dockers will be like $4, certainly. What'd you say?
$4.35.
Yeah, so, but the Dockers won there last year, so don't write them off, but a great test. As long as they... Hey, how's this, though? This is the first Dockers team
Yes.
since 1995.
Glad
you seen
you brought that up, yeah.
since round 12, 1995. The only other time they haven't got an Indigenous player.
Yeah.
Isn't that remarkable?
So it's it's just
Sonny
through
Walters, Alex Pearce injured,
Or
Conrad Williams. Who else have they got on the list that's Indigenous? And Josh Draper's, I think, African, isn't he?
Yep.
Ethiopian or something. So, yeah, that is quite a turnaround.
Okay, Marvel Stadium Saturday, also 11:45am. North Melbourne, $6. Western Bulldogs, $1.13. Sam Darcy is back. Aaron Norton a chance to return for North Melbourne. We might see Griffin Logue, or he might get another game in the VFL, and I think Colby McKerchet will be back as well. I like North at the moment, but I'm picking Western Bulldogs. I think they found some form, and yeah, I'm going to go with them. Yourself?
Bontempi, did you hear that radio presenter going?
Just call him
Marcus
the
Bontempi, poor thing. We've all made mistakes like that, Baz. And he fell awkwardly at training, so there's still a question mark over whether he will be selected. Probably he'll get selected, maybe pulls out late. I don't know. Aaron, as you said, Norton maybe comes in. Darcy maybe comes in.
Darcy is coming in. He's finished his suspension, so he'll come in.
He'll definitely come straight in. Yeah. So lobby.
We'll see what happens with the Bond.
Lobby. Griffin Logue almost back as well, which is great. I love Griffin Logue. And Colby McKercher, I think, was the other one. You mentioned him.
Yep.
So the Dogs, buddy.
Yep.
They look okay.
They do.
They look okay. They should win this, eh?
Yep. Saturday, 2:35pm. People First Stadium. Let's call it Carrara. Gold Coast Suns, $2.05. Collingwood, $1.77. Ben King, they say, who was a late withdrawal last week, a chance to come in from that knee injury. Big return from Collingwood expected to be Scott Pendlebury. So that is a big in if he comes in.
And Myercheck.
You know what I'm doing?
I think they've confirmed that now.
Fortune favours the brave, Barra.
Hang on, let me just tell
I'm picking Gold Coast.
Wait, before you do that, I'll let you wind it back. DeGoey is playing.
Okay.
So DeGoey, Pendlebury, Myercheck, Lockie Schultz is out, though, and Isaac Quainer in doubt. Where you're still sitting with Suns?
Just at home. They're a completely different team. Metrics-wise, they are a completely different team home and away.
They are.
I'm picking them at home, yes.
And they can't afford to drop home games if they want to make the 8.
I'm picking the Suns in a bit of an upset there.
I'm going the Pies.
Okay.
Go the Pies.
So this next game's tough too. 5:30pm Saturday, Adelaide Oval. The Adelaide Crows $2.02. Giants $1.80. Cornelio, question mark. Perryman, question mark. Taylor
They're
Walker.
saying Cornelio will play.
Okay, well, that's good for them. And you know I'm a Giants fan, and you know I expect them to play finals. But for me, last chance saloon to have some skin in the game at home, need to answer your critics. I'm going to pick Adelaide to win this in an upset.
So it comes down to whether Taylor Walker plays, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
Like, if he doesn't play, you wouldn't be picking him, would you?
I still think they'll find a way in this game.
Really?
Yep.
Geez, that's a big call. Because last week, the Giants didn't look that bad. They just ran into a
ran into
fantastic
Sydney.
team. Yeah, exactly.
They kicked 7 in a row against them, which worried me.
Yeah, that wasn't great. How about Dave Matthews, the CEO up there? He's slammed the Victorian clubs for not backing the academies, Northern academies and all that. We haven't got time to talk about it.
Yeah, no, but back the academies. We just need access. All the other clubs need access to academy players.
Yeah, anyway, smashed the Vics. And he's also said it's about time. This is a national competition, Quarters. We should not talk about interstate clubs anymore. Interstate from where? It's a national comp.
Yeah, but wherever you are, there's
No. It's a national comp.
Oh, sorry. So Dave Matthews says it, so we have to follow that, do we?
But he's actually absolutely right.
No.
It's a national comp. Yeah. Why are we the interstate clubs?
We are.
Why are they not the interstate clubs?
Well, they are if you live here.
No.
Oh, anyway, let's not get into
the 8
debate.
clubs who aren't in Victoria get called the interstate clubs.
David, just concentrate on the important stuff, I reckon. David.
But that leads into the academies anyway.
Yeah, no, won't have it. Who'd you pick?
The Giants, mate.
Okay.
Can't go against them.
Okay. Now.
You're going a bit radical, mate.
Mate,
You've gone radical.
You watch me move.
You've gone mad.
I told you.
Gone mad.
I told you. MCG Saturday, 5:30pm. Geelong, $1.97. Essendon, $1.84. Geelong in all sorts of problems at the moment. They've worked Tom Stewart out, not playing with any confidence, which is why I'm picking Essendon to win this game. I actually originally thought it was at the GMHBA, and I was prepared to have a bit of a crack at Geelong, but Essendon win this one. They weren't overly convincing, by the way, last week, but...
More convincing than Geelong. Tommy Hawkins out.
Yeah.
8 weeks. That gives him 1 game to come back.
Yeah. Well, that's if he comes back in 8.
Well, it's 6 to 8.
It's that mid-foot stuff. It's not good. That can linger for a long time.
So what I'm winking at you, right? So,
yeah, okay.
So that means
something
I'm
in your
about
eye,
to
mate.
say something.
Yeah.
So last game at Geelong versus West Coast Eagles, Quarters, would that be his send-off?
You'd just find a way to roll him out there.
And that's it, though? That's Tada the Goose?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so, mate.
Oh, a great
35
career.
years of age, 359 games.
Broke the record.
Apparently the world's best bloke. He's been a magnificent player. Forget Geelong, just been a great AFL player. We all love watching Tom. Broken my heart on a number of occasions, kicking goals after the siren against the Hawks and what have you. But some players just deserve a last game. That's if he can walk.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is he finishing up this
I think
year?
so. Well, the body looks beaten up, doesn't it?
Xavier Ellis out there wants to speak to you, mate.
Yeah, okay.
It's
fair
his
enough.
best mate.
Best mate. Yeah, I know.
He's not happy with you.
Oh, well.
Woo-hoo. Got you beautiful.
I'm entitled to an opinion.
Mate, I'm saying the Bombers aren't convincing, but where is this game? The MCG. I'm going to stay with the Bombers.
Okay.
Though.
Sunday, 11:10am, Marvel Stadium. St Kilda, $1.80. Port Adelaide, $2.02. I think Rioli's back for Port Adelaide. St Kilda have not been convincing, mate. This has been a horrible week for Ken Hindley and Port Adelaide after that insipid performance at home last week. So, once again, I'm being bold. I'm going to go for a slight upset, I guess, and pick Port Adelaide to bounce back.
So there'll be a response. There will be a response.
Gotta
won't there?
be.
If there's no response, he'll be sacked.
Yeah. By the way,
if they don't respond, and it's the worst team to respond against, isn't it? Because you imagine Ross trying to work
he'll
his
just
magic
strangle the
and
game.
strangle the game. It's going to be the Who Cares Cup in some ways. It's going to be so bad to watch.
well, Port Adelaide supporters, seriously, you can look at it glass half empty, but look at it glass half full. The bloke, you won 13 in a row last year with a list that, beyond the 3 gun midfielders, Rosie, Butters and Horn Francis, there's not really any superstars in that team. So anyway.
But just having said that, if he loses if he loses this game to St Kilda at Marvel after that shocking game and getting booed,
Well,
that means he's lost the players. If they don't rally for him, that's a sure sign, mate. We're offside with you, pal. We'd rather see Joshy Carr in here, or
So you think it has to
or
be a
Nathan
win?
Buckley.
What about a
or
competitive
whoever.
loss?
Competitive loss, not so bad. But
Okay.
if there's no response, he's in that much pain. Poor
Okay,
bugger.
let's move on. So you're picking
I think they'll respond. I'm going
Okay.
Port Adelaide.
MCG Sunday, 1:20 p.m. Richmond 6.75, Carlton $1.11. Chera, I think, is back. Of course, Tom Lynch injured now, so not much to really pin your hopes on for Richmond. Carlton for me.
How much are the Tigers? $7.
Or close to $6.75.
Yeah, the Blues are the real deal, aren't they now? So
They are. I'm a believer.
I'm a believer.
Last game of the round, Optus Stadium Sunday. Big game. West Coast Eagles $2.60. Hawthorn $1.50. Big ins for West Coast. Reid and Kelly. Do you have any intel on Sheed?
Sheed not playing. He's still.
Okay.
They reckon he's still got 2 weeks with his
Okay.
hammy. And
Okay.
so this is their best team, bar probably Hewitt.
Yeah.
This is the Eagles' best team. So you'll get a look at what their best team
And
looks
a pretty
like.
competitive performance against Essendon last week. So, lots.
Am I right?
Oh,
Apart
yeah.
from Hewitt, maybe Long, maybe.
Well, it's a forward line of, Allen, Waterman, Darling, etc.
Still not sure if Darling should be playing with
No.
Bailey Williams. Still
No.
not sure about tomorrow when we do Simo. You coming to Simo tomorrow?
Don't know yet. Don't know who's doing
Okay,
that.
so we'll get Duff. We'll go again, another reunion. And we'll gang up when we say, Simo, how can you play Bailey Williams and Jack Darling? Jack, I know Jack needs
He was asked
9.
that last week, and he said we've still had a little bit of speed.
Yeah,
and
did
to
it work? Did it
I
work?
think it did.
Well, Bailey Williams.
I like
he
Liam
would-
Ryan through the midfield.
Yeah, well, he won't be there this week. They might throw him in there for the odd one, but he won't be there this week because Tim Kelly and
So
Harley Reid. And Simo, bouquet to you for experimenting. I thought Daniel Laidley's article today was spot on. He did so well. Marrick went to the wing, which no one thought about. He might have to drop Marrick this week, though, or Hutchinson for sure, because they're going to make
Played pretty well last week.
They've got two. Who goes out? They've got 2 changes. 2 blokes come in, don't they? So someone's got to go out. But that bloody worked. Brockman through the mid with Ryan.
Looked good at times.
Maybe you'll throw him in. What about? Did you see the first bounce? And Liam Ryan went the wrong way.
Yeah, I did.
Did you see that? He ran the wrong way.
I did see that. Yeah.
Lucky he didn't kick it.
Yeah.
David Hart did that one day.
Yeah.
He stormed out of the middle and booted it
Happens from time to time.
back into his back line. And Monkey
Disorientation.
Brennan was standing there.
No neo-spatial
He was waving,
awareness.
going, "No, that way, don't kick it!" And Monkey luckily knocked it out of bounds. Jufa, he kicked it 50 the wrong way. Can you imagine doing that?
So I am picking the Hawks here, mate. My boys. My concern is this. Playing very well, Hawthorn at the moment. My
Very
concern is this. Off the bye, rich vein of form, a lot
Travel.
of hype around Hawthorn, and it's a young list. So are they listening to the hype, or are they so settled now and
Drinking
playing Sam Mitchell's way that they will produce? I'm really intrigued by what we see at the weekend.
Drinking their own bathwater.
Mitch Lewis a chance to come in.
Yeah.
It is a very
They
short.
tag Harley.
Without him,
why
it's
would you tag Harley when you're going so well?
We'll see if they play Finn McGuinness. They
He's
may
out
well.
of the VFL.
Yeah, but you've proven. I think we were proven with
Finn, what's his
Windhager. I mean, you can get Carley, so he's very important to them,
Harley. Yeah, but you back your own back midfield.
Oh, they'll be putting time into Harley. You can
All those,
guarantee it.
you reckon?
Yep, I do.
Mate, what about Yeo and Kelly?
Yeah, well, let's see what happens.
So you reckon that Harley's the taggable bloke now?
I do.
Ahead of Kelly and Yeo.
Yep.
It's just because they're hard to tag.
I would
is it?
tag. I think Harley's a real game breaker, and so you need to. He can change a game in 10,
Wow.
20 minutes.
He is getting 2 mil.
Yep.
I heard that you guys are into Josh Battle and Bailey Smith too.
We've been into Smith for a long time. Yeah, absolutely into battle. Offered him a 6-year deal, apparently.
Yeah, so that
Would be handy for the Hawthorn back line.
Would that get you there to the premiership? Those 2 blokes.
Still probably need another forward, I reckon. But in the chop,
Mitchie Lewis
moving. He needs to play.
kicked
some
one in
footy.
the VFL, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm tipping the Eagles, mate. Put that on the record. Joshy,
So
replay
Barra-
that. Barra tips the Eagles at home at Optus on the slippery deck. I don't care. I reckon they're going to lift, and the Hawks are drinking their own bathwater.
Okay, fine. Now it's time for this.
Saddle up your camel. It's time for the Thirsty Camel mailbag.
Yes, thank you to Thirsty Camel. Shop the way you want online and in-store. Look out for specials. There's convenience and great value every day. Head to the website or download the Thirsty Camel app today. This week's special, Jim Beam White Double Serve and Cola, 6.7%. A 10-pack, only $54.99. Of course, we have a $50 gift voucher to give away thanks to Thirsty Camel. Get your questions in for next week to quartersandbarra at wanews.com.au. Barra, little left of field, a few bits of mail this week. Hey, fellas, my Year 7 boys haven't won a game in years. Last weekend they played their guts out and went down by 2 points in the dying minutes. There were a few tears and not just from the players. Any words of wisdom or motivational stories from the olden days to inspire my troops for the last half of the season? That's Brendan from Inglewood.
Is that
I like
right?
that email.
Can you forward that to me?
Okay.
And we'll, with my vast experience in Auskick, my God, I was there for so long.
I've done some junior coaching too.
Yeah.
It's hard yards. They're hard yards.
We'll put something
Very
together.
enjoyable, but they're hard yards.
My friend Dwayne Lamb, he went through Auskick 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that?
Don't do what... I'll tell you what not to do. So
I don't have a guess why.
many years ago, a mate of mine in Melbourne said to me, "Oh, can you come and I'm coaching a team. We're in the grand final." And I said, "No worries, I'll come and watch, give you some support." He said, "No, this is my plan," and he had this dossier. He said, he said, "I've got a guy to come in and do so." No, not Oski. We're going to let me finish. I know he's going to give him some motivational words. I've got a guy coming in as a speaker, and this is what we're going to do. Their number 7 plays on a wing, so we're going to take the footy the other side of the ground. Blah 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 blah. And I said, "Okay, mate. So what are they? 16, 17s?" He goes, "No, under 8s." And I said, mate, they can only remember one or two things. Don't overcomplicate it.
That's a good tip.
Now,
and as a junior president, I've seen some things from dads and coaches that you can't believe. Mate, we're not playing for sheep stations, please.
And let me just finish that story. It was a draw, the grand final that day, and so they had to go to extra time, and they lost in extra time, and I just walked, and all the kids were crying, and I walked away from my mate, and I said, "All yours, buddy." But guess who was full forward for his team that day?
Who?
Guy by the name of Jack Gunston.
Is that right?
There you go.
But so it was a grand final.
It was a grand final.
Oh, well, that changes everything, mate. Fine.
Hi, Quarters and Barra. With your Channel 7 and West Australian sport writing influence, would it be a good idea to annually award the best West Australian players with the State of Origin selection and actually make a big deal about it? Selecting the best players in the paper and on the sports news. Love the show, Matt. I like that. You and I should think about that, Barra, because the Quarters and Barra WA state team.
Well, let's do ours.
Yeah.
And I know that the AFL's doing a Victorian team and an Allies team.
Yep.
They're gonna pick a team.
So Matt, we'll give you a team before this year's out, right? We'll combine to pick a.
What about next week? Let's do it next week.
All right, we can do it next week. That's fine.
Not hard.
What else have we got here?
Jackson.
High Quarters and Barra. Has Optus
Clark.
Stadium got the ability to host a tussle between Aussie the Eagle and a hawk from the deep to the United States as the pre-game entertainment?
Andrew, a bald eagle?
I don't think so. No, we're not having.
Who wrote that?
Andrew.
That's pretty funny, Andrew.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll tell you. Imagine them swooping over each other over Optus.
So
they might poop on the ground. What about all the pooping that was going on in the North Melbourne game by the seagulls?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see how many seagulls there were?
Yeah.
I heard a lady on radio, her whole family got pooped on. All 15 of them. 15 people got pooped on behind, because they were sitting behind the race, behind the North Melbourne bench. They reckon it's a vendetta against North Melbourne.
You know, it could be.
You can't eat your chips.
It could be worse, mate. My wife had a whole sandwich taken out of her hand in the south of England in Cornwall. I was at a pub in Cornwall, in the south of England. I was petrified of going outside. They are the size of.
I know. Hey, Joshy,
dogs.
Can we tee up an alarm or something for when we retell stories we've already told? Have
I told that story before?
Holy shit, have you told it?
Never. Right, let's give out.
Tell us about the marathon in London.
No.
Wah.
You know
Joshy,
what?
get an alarm, mate.
Some people love that
I'll
story.
blow it. Yeah, I love it too, but I'll be blowing it on you.
So who wins it this week, mate? Is it the? Do we go back to Tuesday and the Fife email? Do we go back to the skies not falling in with the AFL drug testing system? Do we talk about dialogue around the Dockers? They're a young side.
Why don't we give it to the bloke whose young boys lost might need pumping
let's
up?
do that.
Shall
Let's
we
do
that?
that.
Yeah,
Brendan
and we'll
from
send him
Inglewood.
some tips. They'll be useless, but we'll send them to him.
You are this.
I tell you a tip, mate. See ball, get ball. So you just look at your player in the eyes and go, see ball, get ball. See ball, get ball.
Now,
Always works.
Yeah, mate. Well, Brendan, congratulations. Get your details into Quarters and Barra at wanews.com.au. You have been listening to Quarters and Barra. We have been brought to you by TABtouch. Got the touch? Download the TABtouch app today. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Thank you, Barra, for a little crazy podcast today. Thank you for listening. We'll be back on Tuesday, where I will have swept into the tipping lead after my bold and daring tips for round 16. Thanks for listening.